Y'all, we miss y'all, really. Welcome back. We've been out chill for what, 2 weeks? This is episode 8. We really miss y'all. We really miss your comments and the support. I hope you guys haven't forgot about us, because we definitely have not forgot about y'all. Remember to subscribe on the left hand corner, and that will be to the right of your screen. Also check our Patreon link down below. Don't forget to, subscribe and contribute and support. I'm not sure what the topic is today, and I'm being so honest and very frank with y'all. This guy right here, he got something up his sleeve, so I'm kind of curious, like, what we gonna talk about today.
The topic, it ain't no topic. It's just you talking to me, I'm talking to you, and y'all just gonna listen, because everything that we gonna say is going to hit home, is in what your life is going on with your life, and then what's going on in the presidency. Anything that we want to talk about is going to be real. And I'm saying, I'm gonna start it off like, I'm saying, it's some things that I've been, I've been riding around and going to work and everything, and I be doing construction, and we be working in the hood, you know what I mean? So we working in the hood, but it's a lot of new home developments going on in the hood. And so therefore, I'm with a person from the hood, I'm from the hood, and we be looking like, dang, a lot of stuff be going on in the hood, but why are the people in the hood still broke? But it's like a $1 million home beside like a $10,000 home in the hood. You know what I mean? So either that home gonna still be there, or they gonna get rid of that person from the hood, and they gonna move another $1 million home into the hood, and gonna keep the people in the hood out. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about that? They keeping people who really are. It's like a lot of people got that hood on they flesh and everything, and people coming in, moving in, and they making it better, but you're not even trying to better the person that already lives there. And this name might be tattooed in their flesh. It's like, how do you really feel about that? And where they gonna go?
I mean, honestly, I feel like home is where you make it.
That's true.
So, whether you stay on the west side, the south side, the north side, or the east side, it's wherever you make it. I honestly feel like, even if, let's say, I move to California next week, and I'm from Charlotte, I can still represent Charlotte in California.
That's true. So
even if they try to kick me out of Charlotte, and even if I, for whatever reason, had to move to California, I would still be able to rep my city from California. I mean, you got people, even in Charlotte, living here now. Majority of the people I talk to on a daily basis is not even from Charlotte. They're from Ohio, they're from New York, Florida, Texas. They're from other places. So a lot of times, even though they're not from here, they make it known, oh, I rep Florida, or my city is that, I'm repping that good Delaware, like wherever they're from.
But I understand that though, but I'm just like, the people, it's pretty much like, if you got money, you rule the world, you know what I mean? So it's like, but it's other people who really be like, this is my home. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like when back in the day when the people came over here on the boat, Columbus now, they came over and just took the Indians and just kicked them out. It's like, and now this is what we call United States, but no, this is the Indian state. But guess what? This is these people home. So you want to take these people who've been here their whole life and send them, okay, people is a section off. Like, once you know somebody, you section out with these people. Like, I know these people. These is my people. Me and these people, we argue. We might fight, but we still stick together at the end of the day.
Right.
These people over here, they do the same thing. These people over here, they do the same thing. So now you about to kick these people out of their area, and you want to send them over to another area where these people are already stuck together, and you wonder why crime goes up. Because you got people who's already done established themselves and they protect it. So you send them to somewhere else, and then you wonder why stuff is going on, why crime is going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, but they don't look at that because they want this because it's close to downtown Charlotte. It's close to downtown Charlotte.
The location's convenient for them.
So they want this area, and they're going to send these people over here, and then wonder why these people don't get along. Because these people stay on this side for a reason. They stay on this side for a reason because they're comfortable there. And it's like, I was at work like, dang, they pretty much like, okay, but you know what? It's crazy because they do with the animals. They be like, well, deer hunting seems like you can't come over here because the deer over here. You know what I mean? But guess what? We human beings. And guess what? You'll do that to human beings, but you won't do that for a deer. You know what I mean? That's the kind of society we live in, and it's sickening because they will have us over here beefing with each other, relocating and beefing with people that you don't know. You're in an unfamiliar area. People are territorial, period.
Yeah.
Territorial. So you go over there and now you arguing with some people, and now crime going up, and they on the news like, oh, we don't know why this and this and this and that. Yeah, because you just took them out of their habitat and put them over here and told them to adapt, and by them to adapt, they had to do what they had to do. Right,
because they didn't really have the option in the matter. Now, are they offered like agreements with when they're told to relocate, or is it like, okay, you have 30 days to vacate the premises, or is it like, hey, you know, we'll buy this property from you?
It's when you're in the hood, you renting from somebody, so therefore your buyer, they don't even talk to you, they talk to the person that owns
you're renting. Okay.
Yeah, so once he get all the money, he be like, well, forget you, buy you gone. And so therefore
so what that tells me is, as people, whether you're
dissect this, that's what I want you to do.
As people, whether I don't care what culture or race, you know, Chinese, Japanese, you know, black, white, African American, I feel as though it is important for us to build ourselves. In a sense of, okay, if you know that you're renting this home, make a plan. I'll call it a 1 and a 3 and a 5 year plan, where you set yourself up to own that home, or set yourself up to already be in the process of buying that home in increment payments over the next 5 years, over the next 7 years, or the next 10, however you divide it. But I feel like that's when that wisdom comes in, and you have to say to yourself, okay, I'm in a position where at any point in time, the person that owns this property and this home and this place, this space here, could possibly buy it out to a construction company for the mighty dollar. So in order for me to secure my home and secure the place that I know to be home, and to secure my livelihood where I'm comfortable, where I know people, I'm going to set myself up to own my own property. That's where that wisdom comes in, and you have to say, you know, enough renting. Enough, you know, working for somebody else. Let me be my own entrepreneur. Let me go out and buy my own properties. Let me own my own home, not just rent my home for the next 25, 30 years. Let me own my vehicle. Like, that's where ownership should come into play. Where, you know, it's a situation where it's unfortunate that they had to be relocated, but they should learn something from it instead of getting upset and fighting the next door neighbor that they're next to, because I know they're not comfortable. I get it. They don't know somebody. It's a territorial thing. Or even an argument. You know, you had a disagreement about something because you don't know these people. You come over there. You might be coming over to being the friendly guy, but the person that you're going over to might not be friendly. Right. So it may be closed off from you. Right. Right. You know, I agree. So,
but I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, it's like money rules the world. You know what I mean? And it's like, to me, world, I'm just brainstorming. Like, a lot of stuff going on, and it's just like, it's all about the money, you know what I mean? So therefore, whoever got the money, got the power, and if you ain't got no money, then they'll toss you to and fro. You know what I mean? So like what she's saying, don't be worried about trying to rent, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, sometimes you gotta rent. Right. You know what I mean? Sometimes people is on different situations, you know what I mean, that they ain't got no choice. So I'm talking about, if you ain't got no choice. So give me a situation, a scenario where you think somebody wouldn't have a choice to own. Like, you can if you rent to own. That's another option. If you're on Section 8. Right. Okay, if you're on Section 8, you are already in this side of town. You know what I mean? Right. And so therefore, you're on this side of town, but guess what? You done met a lot of people on this side of town. They might be on Section 8 too. They might be paying their rent. They might not. They might be on Section 8 too. But you done got to know these people. And now you got these people who done came in with money, and they saying, I want to stay down. I want us to be close to downtown. So therefore, we about to go make these Section 8 people get up out of here and send them over to somewhere that they don't even know nothing about.
Right.
You know what I mean? So therefore, you send them over there. Guess what? They might have had a problem with somebody over there. You know what I mean? So therefore, but you sending them over there, and then you wonder why. Now you're on the news, and ain't even, you just giving brief descriptions of what's going on.
And not the full detail of how it all took place.
Tell that you just took this man out of his habitat and forced him to adapt over there. And maybe the only reason why that crime happened was because you made him move out because somebody had $1 million and they wanted to build a big home in the hood that you say that you don't really want to be the hood no more. You know what I mean? And that's what's going on. Like, they taking over the city and they pushing everybody. And it's not just happening in our city, it's happening in a lot of cities. They taking the hood and they pushing all the people from the hood to one spot. And if I'm not saying that the people in the hood can't come up. Yeah, they can come up, but if they're not ready for it, it's kind of sprung on them. You don't even know their financial situation at this time. Now they got to move, and now they're going over there, and they're like, you know, they comfortable.
Right.
They've been here for
but
like
even
20,
you
30
look
years.
at it, even if you flip it and you look at it from the other perspective.
What's the other perspective?
These people that are used to being in those $1 million home neighborhoods, they're used to being in the Brady Bunch Avenue, and everything has just been peaches and perfection, right?
I'm glad you said
so they move out of their comfort zone from their, in their cul-de-sacs, moving from their $1 million mansion areas into the hood to build that $1 million home. That takes an adjustment and an adaptation as well for them. So even though people in the hood areas or in Section 8 areas are having to adapt and be pushed out of their comfort zone, so do they. When they go from their $1 million cul-de-sac to the hood, they're also being pushed from their norm, from what they're used to.
But why did they go to the hood? Because somebody who is rich like that don't make that kind of investment if they don't already know that this is about to be the shiz naive.
Of course.
Shout out Lil Scrappy. The shiz naive. So therefore, they already know that these people in here, we about to pick them out one by one. We're going to toss them over here. We're going to toss them over there. We're going to toss them over there. As long as they are this area, then you good. That's the way I look at it. And then on top of that, okay, and like you went back, I'm going back to where you said value ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Okay, now you already got this $1 million home over there. You know what I mean? And I'm not telling nobody no stupid stuff or nothing. But I'm like, people in these neighborhoods, like, okay, this person over here standing in here, $1 million home and everything.
Okay.
And but these people here is like, I feel like sometimes we don't even look at ourselves as being this freestyle. This is how I feel. You know about situations.
Right.
So,
absolutely.
Okay, we out here doing stuff to each other, but somebody just moved in our neighborhood and he worth about $1 million. He worth about $1 million, but your homeboy down the street, he worth about shit $400, $600 a week. But you going to talk, you going out there gonna take everything here, but the other nigga just move in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I'm just like, but I look at this like we don't value each other. We don't value each other as a race like how we should. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, we supposed to stick together. You know what I mean? Like, they just moved in with this me. Okay, we need to figure out how, since they don't look at us as nothing, we need to try to figure out how we can make us into being something together. Because guess what? We just let him come over here and they just put him over here and we just let him ride. And they ain't even went over there and touched him or nothing. Right. But guess what? Your brother over there, you know what I mean? He might get on your nerve, but you came and did him all kind of dirty. You know what I mean? But you just let them ride. I don't understand this, man. People gotta understand it.
I agree. I totally agree with everything you just said. I feel like if we start coming together as people, like maybe putting money in the pot to start buying properties in the hood, start buying land.
Exactly.
Why not own the land? Man. Why not go ahead and buy this ran down, cracked house land, have the house knocked down, renovated, and rebuilt build a building and you could establish about 6 to 8 to 10 units.
Exactly.
And get rent from each person that rents out of each unit. That's how you flip it. That's how you make yourself go from victim to victor. And that's how you upgrade your life. I mean, but the thing is, if you only do what you've been trained and taught to do, we're taught to go to school. We go to school, we get our degrees, and then we're taught once we get out of school to get a job. And some people, depending on the situation, got to start working while they're in school. So we're taught to work for somebody. Not taught to actually own and go out here and build a business. We're not taught to be entrepreneurs. That's not what they teach us in school. And then in addition to being taught to work for somebody else, we're taught to rent properties. Rent. We're not taught to own and buy land. We're not taught to invest. We're not taught about stock. We're not taught about bonds and 401ks and IRA Roths. We're not taught about any of that stuff.
Credit.
That too. That it is no class in school that I can remember that taught me how to keep an 800 credit score. It's nothing that I went through that taught me that, unless I took a financial literacy course on my own. And that goes back to just having that self-sufficiency where you're like, you got to take ownership for yourself and say, hey, you know what? I wasn't taught that. Let me sign up for some free financial literacy classes around Charlotte. Let me go to CP and see if they got some computer courses that they're offering for them older people that may not know how to use a computer. But learning how to use it may elevate your job description and give you more pay. So at the end of the day, sometimes we got to be out of our comfort zone, doing more things that we might not normally do to get that extra wisdom or the extra push that we need to get us up off our feet. Get us out of the hood, get us off Section 8, get us off of the family housing. We can use that to transition, but don't get comfortable. And our people get comfortable. And when they get comfortable, they feel like, oh, okay, I can let my guard down. I can just pay my rent every month and stay here for the rest of my life. And that's their only plan.
And then that people come in and just
scoop them out.
Swoop them out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And therefore, you know, so therefore, that's where I'm like, man, I'm glad we had this conversation because like, that's real though. Everything you just said, you know what I mean? Like everything you just said, like all that advice that you just gave. I need to take something right now for myself. We about to rewind.
I'm just being I'm being honest because I'm taking some responsibility for the things I wasn't taught. You know, growing up, when we see our parents do certain things, we automatically adapt a lot of the lifestyle that we seen growing up. So we got to take initiative for ourselves and say, you know what? You know, my mom might not have done this, my grandmother might not have done this, but I'm going to do this. I'm going to sit down and get on Google and look up stocks and watch the trends and see what stock to buy into. I'm going to take the initiative to search, you know, IRAs and how to start doing savings for life insurance and for my children's college plans and things like that. So we got to take some kind of initiative. But if we get comfortable working at Burger King or working at Wendy's or comfortable, you know, doing housekeeping work, you know, and not trying to elevate ourselves, not looking at it as, okay, this is just stepping stone. Like I'm here now, but I already got a 6-month plan. I got a 1-year plan. I got a 3-year plan. And in 3 years, I'm going to go from being that janitor to actually owning my own janitorial service. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's entrepreneurship.
And I'm going to even go over the streets like, shit, even you going from nickel bags, other goddamn, you know what I mean? You going to go from nickel bags up to, you know what I'm saying, a little hair, little, you know what I mean, little quake, in the quarter, you know what I mean?
It's all of
long as you doing this and elevating, and then after they get yours and jump out, get yours and jump out. You know what I mean? And I'm not just talking about, because at the end of the day, everybody live different lives. You know what I mean? But guess what? It's people that is living their lives that's doing things that they don't even want to do and they don't even know how to do.
But be smart about it. It's women that are strippers. They don't want to be strippers. They don't want to go show their bodies every night. Some of them have to get drunk or, you know, take, you know, drugs just to get out on that stage and take their clothes off. So have a plan. Like, okay, if you have to live that kind of lifestyle, which is something you're not necessarily proud of, okay, see yourself in the next 3 years and say, I'm going to stack up this amount of money. I'm not going to buy it on nails every week. I'm not going to invest it on them Remy weaves every week, paying $3,000 and $5,000 for my mink lashes. How about we tone it down a little bit and start investing our money? If you invest that money you're making, sweetheart, in the next 3 to 5 years, you can be out of the game, as they say, and doing something else. Owning your own hairline, owning businesses that'll help towards those that are still in that line of work, and even those that are not in that line of work. And so again, it's all about having a plan. It's all about how much are you willing to apply yourself, how much are you willing to put into self. Because ain't nobody gonna put it in. It's not. No one's gonna put it into you unless you put it into yourself. It's just like a bank account. If you're not putting no money in, what you withdrawing? There's nothing to withdraw if you're not adding any deposits. So I'm telling you, regardless of what culture and race, deposit something in your life. Whether that be a class, whether that be, you know, someone that takes you under their wing and you're basically their understudy and you're learning how things go, learning the ropes. You know, if you research stocks and how to start investments, how to build your credit, you know, talk to people that are creditors. You know, maybe you might get a company to do it for you. And then after that company does it for you, you know, depending on the relationship you develop with that person that is cleaning up your credit, they may be able to give you a few nuggets of wisdom for yourself to start building your credit so you'll know how to do it on your own. Maybe you can start your own business by cleaning up people's credit in the hood.
You know,
off of that one experience that you had with that individual and their company, you start your own company and cleaning up people's credit.
Clean it up.
I mean, and then take some financial literacy classes that'll also help add to your credentials while you're building this business of your own. It's so many things out here. We gotta invest in ourselves, y'all. We can't sit around and wait for a handout. And if you take the easy road, then that the thing about the easy road is
Tasha, it ain't like this. Ain't no road easy.
Right.
It's like you know what I'm saying. Like I can speak for a dude that's like, you might see this dude. He might seem like he making easy money, but it ain't no easy road.
Right.
You know what I mean? It might seem like it comes fast, but it's not easy, because at the end of the day, he got to worry about somebody coming to rob him. He got to worry about the police coming to get him. The police get him.
Somebody snitching him out.
And then he going, somebody snitching. You got to worry about a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? It might seem crazy, but I understand it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, he got a lot to worry about. You know what I mean? And he probably pray more than a person that go to church.
Right, because it's so much on his, so
much that he might have to deal with every day. You know what I mean? So he might be the craziest dude, but he probably done say his prayers 13 times, and he might not even know that day. And he might not even be saying. He might just say his grace. It's different strokes for different folks, because some people, they go do it that they call the easy way, and some people go over here and do it in the way that they know, and it might seem like it's easy, but to them it ain't easy. But they still go out here and maintain, and they have to go through a whole lot. You know what I mean?
I understand. I think that with life in general, the idea is to get better with time, as they say. You know, it's one of those methodologies that you have to apply in life in general. So whatever you were doing 5 years ago, you can't be doing that 5 years down the line.
That's true.
Because depending on the line of work that you do, you are setting yourself up for a bullseye directly on your chest. Right there to be attacked from all different angles. And I mean, whether it's a snitch, whether it's a cop, whether it's a best friend of a friend, you know, type situation. It's one of those things where at some point you got to make a decision to say, I'm gonna do it different this time. I started here, but look at where I can end, and the possibilities are endless if you just put your mind into something that you really love and have a passion for. Like, some people are good at drawing. You know, put a love and a passion into your art. Some people are good at singing and rapping. Put a love and a passion into your music. You know, invest in yourself. Invest in your own dreams. Invest in your own self goals. Don't just be the janitor in the company. Be the one to start a janitorial business. Be the entrepreneur. So that goes back to, again, making decisions that will build you. And if you don't know how to do it, there is so many resources out here. You can do internships for companies. If you want to open let's say a multimedia designing company, then you need to intern at one. Why? So you can see the ins and outs of how it's ran, how things are behind the scenes, and you're not just looking at it from a customer perspective, but from a executive CEO perspective, and you can see how things maneuver within that company. Then when you start your own, you've already got the ins and outs of how it's ran. There's so many volunteer opportunities out here. You know, why not volunteer for a place you really want to work? Like if you have a dream to work at the hospital, volunteer there first.
I remember because I had, when I wanted to do electrician work, I remember I had told them, I was like, hey, if you just let me come in, I don't even want no money. You know what I mean? And I really was lying because I wanted some money. But I was like, if you trying to train me to do this, I don't want no money. And he was like, well, I can't let you work for free. I started you off at $9 an hour. And that was like 10 years ago, you know what I mean? But I was so determined to get a trade because my mom back in the day, she was like, if you go get a trade, that's something they can't take from you. You always gonna learn.
That's true.
You know? So it's like, you know, so people be like, yeah, you know this and you know that. But at the end of the day, yeah, that's what I do. I picked up a trade, but at the end of the day, it's other things that I want to learn. You know what I mean? It's it's other people. If I go do this, then that's something that I can do for myself. It's other people that that's something that I can do for myself and my family. But I've been like, I want to help other people.
Right.
So therefore, if I want to help other people, then we got to do like that. And other people got to start thinking like that. It's not about just you. Sometimes it's about you, and you can help him because he might got 13 felonies. He might not be able to do what you can do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you can help this man and help this man, and that's how people. I feel like people need to be. You know what I mean? It's not too many people that can come around and be like that. I done came around them and I done took from them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or I haven't been part of their life and tried to help.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So therefore, that's what I feel like God put me here for. I come around and help. And
everybody there for that because the Bible says it's better to give than to receive. So at the end of the day, the more that you give and you plant seeds out there, the whole point of planting a good seed is for harvest.
What's up?
And if you get a good harvest, then that means we all growing.
Exactly.
We're all going to be able to pick from that tree. We're all going to be able to eat. You can start off with one kernel of corn and end up with a stalk. Yeah. That feeds 5-6 families. Yeah. So of course when you plant those seeds, the harvest is a lot bigger than the seed that you initially planted.
Exactly.
So yeah.
We put it all together, we have a buffet. Why he want to have? We put it together. We all
everybody eating at that point.
You bring yours, I bring mine.
That's it. Everybody's able to eat. So it's called paying it forward. And I think that goes back to
what's that called again?
Paying it forward.
Paying it
when
forward.
you pay it forward, like for instance, you can do something small for somebody. Like I remember I was in a grocery store recently, and it was an elderly lady, and she had a balance of like maybe $4 or $5 left on her food. And I told her, I said, I got it. I said, don't worry about it. She's like, you sure? You know, I got the money. I said, you fine. I said, I got it. You add that to my tab. And she left with her groceries, and they added her tab to mine plus whatever I purchased from the store that day. It's paying it forward. It's showing people that there are still good-hearted people out here in the world. Everybody's not out to get you. There's still some good, kind hearts out there. Even in a world full of snakes, there's still some good-hearted people out there. So again, paying it forward is going to do nothing but bless your life. When you give, you receive. And it says good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over. So what does that mean? Running over means it's just way too much that you probably can't even receive it with your hands.
My little cup, and don't worry about what's in my cup, but it's just rolling over. You know what I mean?
Right, it's the truth. So again, the more you give, I remember I seen a video on Facebook. A guy said, the level of how rich you are is determined by how much you give.
That's real. So
being rich is not determined by how much money you saving and how many fancy houses and cars and private jets you own. It's about how much you're able to give to somebody else, how much you're able to invest in somebody. So, I mean, think about it like that. You can be rich in the mind, rich in wisdom, rich in just your self-worth, knowing who you are, and having that self-identity. That is more valuable than having $1 million in the bank. You have $1 million in the bank and have an identity crisis or a midlife crisis and not know who you are. So I think it's important to really know who you are. And then by you knowing who you are and being able to give back to somebody else, I mean, that paying it forward is a miracle worker. I'm telling you. So try that. If we can get all our viewers that's watching the show right now, if y'all can pay it forward to one person, whether that's a kind word, encouraging somebody that may be going through a tough situation, whether it's, you know, maybe going to do a mini grocery shop for someone that may not have food in the house, maybe adding $10–20 on somebody's utility bill, lowering their balance. Pay it forward to somebody. You don't even have to know them. It doesn't have to be family or friends. It could be a complete stranger. I think paying it forward to somebody you don't know is the best thing, because they don't ever see it come. They never expect it. And I think that by you paying it forward to that person, you never know what kind of like faith or burst of like, you know, resilience you've given that person. You might have encouraged their very soul. They might have been on the grips of suicide. You just never know. And by you doing that one kind thing, you just reassured them that God still got them. God still loves them. And in spite of the circumstances that they're dealing with, God is still keeping them. And he used you as a tool to help encourage their life. So you just never know. But if y'all can just take you know, one day out the week, just this week, and pay it forward to one person that you don't know, just see the blessings that you'll reap in your life. Just see how many blessings God will give you. He will really give you the desires of your heart. But giving is more rich than receiving. So if you're able to give freely from the heart, then understand you are more richer than somebody with millions of dollars in the bank.
Because it's like this. It's like this. Even if you don't even get it in straight cash money, God just gonna give it to you in favor.
He sure does.
Know what I mean?
He sure does.
Favor is sometimes better than the money, because you can go through something, you be like, and next thing you know, it's just following your lap. You're like, how this just happened? God just looked out for you, and you don't even know what's happening. You be like, how you know? He's like, well, that's favor, boy.
He preaching, y'all. He preaching.
I got a lot of favor. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day,
and favor is not fair.
Ain't nothing I ain't did. Ain't nothing I ever did to get anything that I have. I done hid. I done lost. And God, like, everything I lost, he be like, okay, well, yeah, you messed up as being a regular person, doing whatever you've been doing. But okay, well, I'm still going to look out for you.
Right.
And that's favor.
It is.
It's favor. You know what I mean? And that's what, when you link in with God, man, he will give you favor.
Right.
You know what I mean? And guess what a favor is? A favor. You know what I'm saying? Because look, I got a favor. For real. You know what I mean?
So how about y'all do me a favor?
And guess what? You gonna get you a favor, because he'll give you a favor too.
But do me a favor. Alright? Do me one favor. Just pay it forward, y'all. Like one person. Just one person you don't even know. You can go up to somebody and just give them $20.
Oh yeah, true that.
Random stranger, don't know them. And you never know what they're going through. You might not, they might be the only $20 they have in their pocket, the one you give them. They might be the last dime in their hand. You just never know. So just pay it forward to somebody, and just understand where you are right now. Let it be a stepping stone. Please don't get content and complacent and comfortable where you are in life. Yeah, you might be the janitor right now. Yeah, you might be, you know, in the strip club right now. Yeah, you might be doing things that you may not be proud of and may want to do. But if you understand that this is just where I am now, and where God is going to take me is going to be somewhere so great, but you got to apply yourself. You can't sit back and say, well, I'm waiting for God to take me there, and I don't want to do anything to get there. It takes work.
No. Faith
without works is dead. So you can't expect God's favor over your life if you're not working towards bettering your life and bettering yourself and making better choices to make sure that you are able to secure your future, not for just you, but for your children, your children's children, and the generations to come.
And I'm gonna tell you like this, bro. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I be saying stuff, but I be joking and everything, but at the end of the day, I really love people in humanity, period. So therefore, it's like, it's not a person that can come to me and sincere, and God let me see their heart. Like, people be like, oh yeah, you can come shoot. No, you really can't. But God will be like, okay, well, he might really be, but he got some other stuff with him, but he let me know what is going on, and I really will sit down and talk to anybody. So if anybody want to talk to me, I'm willing to talk. But guess what? God gave me a spirit of discernment, and therefore I will pick up on it, because he gonna let me know what it is. And so therefore, well, guess what? If you want to talk, man, come talk to me and we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? More than talk about it, we gonna even pray about it. But
y'all, we just basically just want y'all to stay encouraged. Know that God got you. Know that at the end of the day, you know, God is covering you. He hasn't forgotten about you, and He just wants you to start applying some of the principles that that we've just discussed today, scripture, and also just some words of wisdom. Yeah. You know, if you want more in life, you're gonna have to do more. To whom much is given, much is required. So again, if you want all of the things that your heart desires, you're gonna have to do a whole lot more that's required to obtain those goals and obtain your dreams. Gotta work towards it though. Gotta meet God somewhere in the middle, as I always say. You know, but at the same time, if you stay prayerful, you know, favor, like we just said, it will follow you. Giving to people, it will follow you. It will come back to you. Karma is something real. You giving back, you'll get it back. Whatever you dish out, you get it back. And it's a reflection of what you give. Again, a man is measured by, his richness is measured by the amount that he gives, how much he's able to give to somebody else. So I encourage you, again, just give to one person you don't know, a stranger, and see how much your life has changed. See how much more God blesses and enrich your life. And even if there's not a physical, financial return and blessing, just see how much that makes you feel better in here. By giving to somebody else that could have, you know, done anything, you know, in that same moment, in that same breath, but instead they were receiving a blessing from you. So you just restored their faith in God and humanity. That's real. And so again, make sure you check out our Patreon link below. Make sure you subscribe to, you know, our, you know, Street Critic TV channel. That way you can keep track of our new episodes to come, and be blessed. Again, I'm co-hosting with the one and only Slimme, and I'm Tasha Marie, y'all. We love y'all. And that's like, love your neighbor as yourself. You know what I mean? That's it. So if you don't, then you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself. Straight like that. Right. Y'all be blessed. And tell your girlfriend to call me.